Let's have a trade recap. This trade over here that you guys see passed a 50k eval today for me with Alpha Futures. I passed that 50k in a single trade. That was a banger trade. There wasn't like literally not a single leg down, bro, over here. I passed the 50k and I did it in front of 150 people live on TikTok. If you want to watch my streams, the TikTok link should be in my bio. Just follow me there. But let's have a trade recap and why I took it. Actually, let me show you guys. This is the account that I got funded fully here. This is qualified account funded. I signed the contract just today. And it's completely fresh account. Haven't traded, just got it today though, but I got funded on that. So by the way, guys, if you guys are wondering how could I pass a trade like in a single day, is there no consistency rule? And then a lot of you guys might be wondering Trump is peaking. There was a behind peg news. That's because if you go on Alpha Feature, there's zero plan. Look, you can trade news. There is no news rule, and then you have no consistency rule on challenge phase. That means I can pause account in a single trade and I can trade news. By the way, if you use code LLcTrades here, that's gonna give you 10% off if you want to buy any account size. But if you do buy, I would recommend advanced plan as it's the best one. But zero plan is super good too. Make sure to use code LLcTrades to get 10% off. So let's get into the trade recap. So a lot of you guys might seen this on TikTok when I was streaming. But here are my thought process, bro. So coming into the day, you guys can clearly see this is market open. We come, we take out London high, and that's super bullish right off of that. This is not shouldn't be the original entry like up here, but still that was a valid trade for me to take it. So Trump was still speaking at that time. Price pushes higher. I do nothing. I knew that this is going to be a continuation trade because look over here on ES, if we look, we inverse this hourly fair value gap. Like, look, we inverse this hourly fair value gap here, but on NQ we didn't do that. So I knew that this was going to be a continuation trade to the upside. And then this is what I actually did wrong. My entry should have been lower over here. So you guys can see when market opens, Trump is still speaking. We are reversing off of London high. We make a bullish SMT. We have a higher high, higher low. On ES, we have like here a lower low, lower high. This should have been my original entry, bro. I should have entered my position over here on ES. Why? Because we are respecting this 500 fair value gap. We have a bullish SMT. Boom, just like that. Enter target this high, which I did not do it. I wasn't super confident in this because I thought maybe price wants to react off of that and go lower, but on NQ, let's go here. Let's see if my chart is gonna load. Bruh. So on NQ, you guys can see after this leg up, we come into this 1 hour fair value gap. Off of this 1 hour fair value gap, there is not a strong reaction. You guys can clearly see there is not a strong reaction. And then that's it, bro. We fall into this 5 minute gap at the same time on ES. We already inverse this hourly fair value gap within here. Look, and then if you go on the 5 minute time frame, ES was also respecting this 5 minute fair value gap. I knew that the price wanted to come for these highs up here, previous day high, and even it touched to this weekly opening gap. And I was just trying to catch a long here to these highs. And my original TP, I wanted just this high, but once it got hit, I was like, bait, why not just target a 1, 2, 3 to pass the count, which I did and passed the count. And boom, right after that, I actually didn't get entered off of this leg up. This win, price win. After this, I should have just entered here. Still wasn't too confident, but after this second 5 minute candle, the price just shot higher. I put a limit over here. You guys can see price retrace hit my limit, and I got in. Boom, stops below the fair value gap, targeted this high. Just like that, easy and simple, pass the account in a single trade. Now, if you guys are wondering, you could have actually, instead of taking this buy trade, if you were like, I knew this was gonna happen, so I took it. I was super confident. Instead of taking this buy position, bro, I could have taken another position too, but that wouldn't make sense because I already took one trade and won it. I could have still short the market to the downside. Why? Because look, we took out this high, even this high filled into this weekly gap, not that much. And then if you go on the 5 minute time frame, what do we have here? We actually invest this 5 minute gap here. You guys can clearly see we had a bunch of retracement. So if you go on a 1 minute time frame, price action might not be that good, but you guys can clearly see here. After this weekend, we stopped out a lot of people who just took short here off of that 5 minute inverse gap. You could have actually entered a short position after inversion of this 1 minute gap here. If you ask me why, because this is a super bearish reaction off of that. We actually inverse both of these fair value gaps 1 minute. You could have entered short over here. You could have put, let's see, stop loss just slightly above here to be safe, and you could have just targeted Let's see. You could have just targeted these lows down here, which would have given you a 1 to 3, like a 1 to 4. If you wanted, you could have even gone lower, but I wouldn't recommend that. This was two setup that was valid for the day, but I did not take the second one because the first one was a winning trade for me, and there was no reason for me to take another one. But yeah, that was how I was able to pass my 50K with Alpha Future in a single trade. And I would 100% recommend guys that you buy account with Alpha Future, and there's zero plan because there's no consistency rule, there's like no news rule. And again, if you want to use code LLcTrades, but I would 100% recommend the advanced plan. If you guys are wondering why, I do want to buy a bunch of advanced plan. Advanced plans are expensive, but you guys can clearly see here there is only 50% consistency rule, and then you can use trade news over here. And then once you're funded, there's no consistency rule, bro. Look, there's no consistency rule, and then you can trade news too, even on there, once you're funded. But yeah, that's it for the day, guys. Make sure to join the Discord also, which I will link in the description. Completely free, a community there. I'm doing prop firm giveaways and a lot of cool stuff over there.